Safe Place Podcast, y'all. Hey, y'all. Look who we got in the building, y'all. We got my friends in the building.
Brothers.
Like, I'm just talking about y'all friends of the show. Y'all the original, y'all the original Dundadas from the beginning of the show.
That's an honor. Thank you. That was
for
cool
real, for real. So we got the real Coach Q in the building.
How you doing?
Hey. And we got Aunt Levloke in the building.
Hello.
Hey. So this month, well, y'all remember, right? In June. Y'all remember in June? I always celebrate my dad.
Ah, that's right. Yeah.
Right? You're like,
that's what you get for just putting on us. I'm sitting here like, what's your Father's Day?
You're like, what is it, Father's Day? No. So this year, you guys were part of the original crew that came out to celebrate my dad, and I'm always celebrating the voices of a man. This year, I almost didn't do this month. I got a lot of transition going on. June is a really, really hard month for me. Y'all know that. And my dad's birthday is Friday. My grandfather's birthday is Saturday, and then Father's Day. So it's usually a pretty heavy month. So it's like usually back to back. However, this series is not only the voice of a man, but it is literally turning my grief into gratitude. So it is celebrating the people that I do have in my life.
Nice.
The voices of men who I have in my life. And you guys, of course, came to mind.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
So welcome to the show. We got a new studio. Y'all not used to this studio.
Yeah, this is dope too. For y'all out there, this is dope.
Yeah. I love it.
Room in.
I love it. Yeah. I love it here.
She took me by the green.
Yeah. It's like it's the evolution and restoration to this is a restoration season. So I thought we'd talk about really I talked about kind of having relationships with men in my life, but the importance of having brother-sister relationships, not just romantic. I know we live in a culture right now that every time you say man and woman, it's always like a sexual undertone.
Right.
And
far too much. Far too much.
And I really wanted to talk about the importance of it and why sometimes that doesn't happen if people get into relationships or get married. So I wanted to talk about that. And I know brother Q about to bring us in.
I was just thinking.
I've known you since college. Yeah.
Some time now.
Yeah. I thought it'd be good to, because Aunt is like a newer friend of mine, right? We met 2020, right?
Yeah.
And you my brother. Like, it's like, yo.
Yeah,
so you can meet.
You don't have to be day ones. You don't have to be like, some people you can meet, like, and it's like an instant vibe.
And I feel like we had an instant vibe.
Day one got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
It has to be a day one from some point.
Right.
Yeah.
Just day one was a little bit later than me and you came together.
I think sometimes people hold those relationships. Say you know somebody for 20 years. You force that. You already know you're growing up. We're not the same friend we were. Yeah. But you're forcing that because you're saying, man, we got 20 years. We got 20. And now you're not getting peace with that friend or anything, but you're holding on to that thing. 20 years. And you know what I mean? Let's make 20. But the last 5 been hell. So
how does that differ? So you you're in a committed relationship with children. Right. You meet me. Who it's been a platonic relationship. Right. We've kind of met within business, and I was always like, I think this was right before I started the podcast. I was just like, I'm gonna ask Aunt to come on. Like, I don't know him that well, and I wasn't sure, but I was like, I'm gonna ask you to come on to podcast. But like, how does that look even in your personal life? Me being kind of a newer friend. And of course, I've met your significant other. She's amazing and beautiful. We've done pop-ups and all types of stuff together. But is it harder to introduce?
It's not hard to introduce at all.
Okay.
See me, I'm a social person.
Okay.
I'm a social person. And I think you have to know your mate too. Like if I know that she wasn't with certain things, but it's hard to do that when you have a business too. But I don't use that as a front. Yeah. Like, hey, my business, I gotta go see this girl. I gotta see, you know what I mean? That's weird.
Yeah.
But your mate has to know. She has to know what type of person you are.
Yeah.
Trust.
So it's trust.
It's a trust thing. Yeah. Bottom line. But like she can have male friends that she just knew. maybe, I don't know. It's just the confidence of me. I don't have to like, hey, who's that? So when did y'all meet? Oh, well, how do you know him again? That's a different type of relationship. That's the relationship I never wanted to be in.
Okay.
I never want to be in that type of relationship where you have to, I don't want to say owe somebody an explanation because that is your mate.
Yeah.
If they ask. But we've been together for years. So it's it's easy for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
And
think we're
y'all
going to
know
go
each
through
other.
15 or so odd years without meeting new people? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or it's like you got to explain everyone. Like, oh, come on, man. I don't
Yeah.
only know you. You know what I mean?
I love that though. I asked that question specifically. I was sharing with Q probably before the show. So I grew up, my house was the house. Let me just explain that, right? I have an older brother. My house was, I was the tomboy or tom girl, whatever you want to call it, of the family. So much so, this is probably gonna make people laugh, but I didn't realize I was a girl. I knew I was a girl, let's be clear.
Don't start.
But like what I'm saying is like, I was just one of the fellas.
Yeah.
And you know, and we've talked about this, right?
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, that's just that. Like, you know, you climb trees, you're gonna do some wrestling. We putting you in the head like everybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you catching crickets with us. Like I was just, I was just kind of. Besides me having long hair, I was rolling with the boys, right? But I did notice as I got older, probably they're older than me, most of them. So I think probably in my 20s, definitely close to there, even though y'all know I'm still kind of 20, not really, but like in my 20s, I started to notice as they got into relationships or started to get married, it was like this separation of, hey, yeah, we could kind of be cool over here, but I don't want that to kind of go into that. So it was always like, you know, I had a close friend that I didn't get to invited to his wedding, which really, again, for me was like, I was hurt. I was like, and he was like, later on we had a conversation because we didn't talk for years, but we had a conversation. He was just like, I can't explain the little girl that I always talk about to now this woman that's walking in the room. And I was just like, I don't want you. I mean, not like, and I say that with all, not that he isn't like a nice looking guy, but that's not our relationship. You know what I mean? That's like a brother to me. That's somebody who has always been a voice when I was growing up and dating guys, or do you know what I'm saying? So it was just, it was a hurtful thing for me to kind of receive that and get that. And I think, especially in the culture that we're living in, the climate that we're in, I feel like people don't realize the importance of having platonic relationships with opposite sex. Like, you know, I can have a conversation with you like, hey, Aunt, what, you know, what do you think? I'm dating this guy. What do you know what I mean? There's a different level of voice.
That's what it should be.
Yeah, but why is that? Why do you feel like that's missing?
We have a very non-trusting culture we're living in this day and age. I think that's the problem with it. It's just overall, trust is hard. Trust, it's easier to not trust than it is to trust. It's much easier. And I think that might be some of the culprit with thinking you can't have a platonic relationship with the opposite sex. I think too often people don't believe it's a possibility. They just don't want to try it.
Yeah.
Or they went by their own experience.
I was about to say that too. And then you don't know the experiences that some people have had with oh yeah, that's your friend, that's cool. And then it bit them.
Yeah.
Because it just depends on the person that you're interacting with.
But doesn't that speak to, I guess, and here I go with my healing self, right? And the whole self, right? If I had a bad experience, because I've had bad experiences as far as like people, guys that I may have dated and they said the relationship was one thing and it's another, or like people gonna cheat. If you gonna cheat, you gonna cheat. It don't matter if it's your, you know, a friend of yours or the girl on the street. Those are two separate things. So I just feel like, how do we get to a place, or are those conversations that we need to have prior? Because like for me, I'm like you. I'm always gonna meet new people. Like it's kind of, it's who I am first and foremost, right? Also in what I do, I'm gonna meet new people. I don't want to feel like, and though I'm very respectful when I know somebody has a significant other, somebody's married, Q's married, right?
I think that's a big thing too.
I'm super respectful. I always want people to know, hey, even y'all coming to the show, right? Like, who's this girl? Like, you know what I mean? I love that. I feel like I try to be as present as possible so people know that, like, I'm not, you know, these are my homies. Like,
I think a lot of that sometimes has to do with, for example, my wife has brother that she's had since high school.
Okay.
The moment I met Brother Bobby, there was no conversation. I knew he was just because of how he came to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's known his sister his whole life. When we were introduced the first time, he walked past us, shook my hand, then said hi to his sister. Now, it's never happened like that again, but that first interaction was like that. And it was just it's a way you go about doing things.
Right.
So like a lot of times, like especially when we were younger, I'd say in our 20s, I would say, we always didn't see people. For that, I mean, like, I had other women in my life that I was dating, and women would be like, "Oh," I'd be like, "No, that's my friend," and she'd be like, "That ain't your friend." But like, just like what I said with Bobby, if he'd have handled that a different way, I'd have looked, because there's other guys that've been like, "This is my friend," and I'm like, "Nah, he's not your friend.
Right.
He's acting like your friend. He's waiting for the shoe
The
to drop."
opportunity. Yeah, the opportunity.
You know, and I mean, you may not even see him like that, but I'm letting you know he does.
He's looking at you.
And I had women, like, once they found out I got married, they were like, they didn't handle it like you did. That.
You're not friends anymore,
We're not
right?
friends
All of a sudden, you're
anymore,
not.
exactly.
But I've had the opposite to happen. I've had guys get married and we not friends no more. Like, in the sense of, like, they just kind of in this space. And for me, like I was telling you, Q, for me, that's an issue in the sense of the one friend that we were able to kind of reconcile and have a relationship after. But outside of him, you can't pick me up and put me down when you want to. Do you know what I mean? Because for me, that's insulting. It's almost saying it gives the feel, it makes me more uncomfortable to that you have to put me down, because it seems like, well, what's really going on? You know what I mean? Is it something going on? Because you're making it seem like there's something going on that may not be going on. And I just feel like, you know, the voice of a man, whether it is brothers, whether it is mentors, whether it's so important and it's crucial. So even for people who may not have partners at this time, may not be married, we have so many people who are single and navigating that. What is wrong with having men around you who can pour into you, who can, you know what I mean, affirm you, you know, people who don't have fathers. I
think the village is necessary your whole life, not just when you're a child.
Right.
So I think it's called for. But I think we're in a day and age where the village isn't respected or appreciated.
And back to the trust thing you said.
Yeah, it's really the trust.
I hate to keep harping on the same word, but that's exactly what it is.
No,
from every angle.
From every angle.
So how do we get back? So if we say the center of that is trust, how do we, in y'all opinion, build trust in that area? Like, because it can't be the culture, and I know we always say it, right? We say, like, hey, the culture and climate that we're in is one thing, right? But, like, how do we, as leaders, change that perspective? Because, like, for me, it's frustrating. I love to see, one of my best friends is a guy, right? And I think I get great insight, perspective. Like, he looks at things totally different. We're different. Men and women are super different, right? So, like,
you need the other side.
I feel like I get the other side of the coin in that, and I'm so grateful. Again, gratitude, right? I'm so grateful for all the voices that I have, whether it's brothers, whether it is mentors. Like, how do we bridge that gap? Like, where do we start? I guess is my question.
Fixing that.
Yeah, how do we fix the trust? Like, how do we start rebuilding trust?
I don't think that the trust game of it has anything to do with like something we can do now. I think it's something that happened before us, so it's just the circle you're in. Like, that's just my perspective on it. Like, I'm not going to, I can't change how you were taught to trust. I can't walk in and change that. You get what I'm saying? Like, I can't change your outlook on things. All I can control is mine. So I see, like, I don't.
So how do you change that from that perspective? And I don't mean change overnight, because change is a process. Let's be clear with everybody who's listening to this, right? Change is a process.
That's
but
what I
like,
was about to say. It starts with the kids. Honestly, everything goes back to children. Children are pure. Like, I have a group of pre-K kids that I watch every day across the street from where my house, and they go into the park and they do their thing. And kids are just so, like, it lets me see. I watch them to see the natural fluid of the body. Because the body's movement pattern is, when you're little, it's just free. But it's also in their interactions and how they do things, and how they interact. Kids will share each other. They'll bite something and give it to the other kid. Yeah, bite it. And their thought is not, they don't think, I can't trust you biting this because you might make me sick. It's not even in their head. That's why they look at you and they're like, what do you mean I can't share with him? We have to get to back to that place of trust and not destroy it along the way as kids come up. And that's, I think, is and one of the things is, let's censor some things again. children shouldn't know the things they know.
Right.
You got 11-year-olds knowing stuff about relationships that they're mad about things that haven't taken place yet in their life because they heard a conversation that someone had. They saw something on television they shouldn't have seen yet. Right. We didn't get to see that stuff on TV unless we stayed up past 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when
they can go
BET
on the phone
censored came on.
They can go on the phone and watch Instagram skits
and see what I see. Yeah.
And they're not stupid. They're gonna put it together, even if they don't totally get it. How many rap songs we didn't get until now? But along life we put it together. But it was trapped in a song and it was behind the beat.
Ain't nothing trapped.
It wasn't. No. It's right there for you to see.
There for you.
Boom.
3D.
So if you take that away, now you stop people learning to distrust. It's easy to learn to distrust. It's much easier. You know how much more it took for me to. My car got stolen and it took me forever to call the police because I learned to distrust them so much. That's what I mean. Like we have to undo that before you can get what we're talking about here. Yeah. If not, you're working on an individual basis. But just like I said, my wife's brother Bobby, love the brother myself now. The way he came in the beginning is what changed everything. Okay. If he would have came a different way, I wouldn't. It wouldn't have been that.
Or it would have took a
lot longer.
Time.
Yeah, because I'd have had to get over how you. Because we have just like you as women have basic rules.
Yeah.
We have basic rules.
Yeah.
And we all know the rules. So when we know it, when we watch a guy break the rule, we know he broke it for a reason. There's a he's quietly telling me. It's like sticking your left hand out when we shake hands. You're quietly saying something to me. You're not causing a scene with what you're saying, but you're saying it. And as a guy, I heard it. Yeah. And sometimes you got to respect your partner. I think with that, like your partner should tell you, if she tells me, that one, I may not move on her action right away, but I am now, my spidey sense is up and I'm looking like, okay, maybe she said it for a reason. Because I've known you for so long, I might be overlooking something.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Boom, okay, I did see what you're talking about. And also, we do things within our realm. Like if we as males feel a certain way, like I would have never sat down and just shook his hand. If I stay seated and shake his hand, I'm saying something. Right. And I know I'm saying something.
What are we
he
saying?
knows I'm saying something.
This is what I need to. This is all the stuff that I need to know.
If you don't get up, that's rude.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like opening the car door. If you we're not. It's the same. Men have a different. It's a different
code of conduct.
Either you weren't raised right, or you just don't care.
And at this point in life, it ain't about you being raised right. Because
there's
plenty of things I didn't know at 18, 19, 20, 21, and I got into fights, I got into arguments, and then older brothers would be like, yo, this is why he was mad at you. And then I'd be like, I didn't know that. But once I knew it, I started applying it to my life.
Yeah. Okay. The left hand thing, it's not standing up.
And the wild part about guys is most of our stuff is nonverbal. It's nonverbal.
Right. Help me, y'all.
So it confuses the heck out of women.
Yeah,
y'all be like, he didn't do anything. Right. He did a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But you know as a man what he did. Yeah. And you're not just like with women, I think it's more vocal. It's more verbal.
That's just it.
So y'all use different wordings for things. Like it's a slick move with the words. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna catch that slick move with the words.
That's how y'all came up with the shade. You know what I mean? Like y'all say something like
she's shady.
Men, we do shady stuff too, but it's just
physical.
It's like we talked about this before about going from nonverbal to fighting. Mm-hmm. Like a man ain't gonna say too many words to each other. No. If they do, they don't want to fight.
No,
they don't want to fight. They just want to make a scene.
They just want to make a scene.
But most men, it's not going to be much. Yeah, you got probably a minute, maybe a minute of discussion, and then that's how we feed. I don't know.
You didn't realize it started when he walked in the door and that dude stuck his left hand out. You didn't catch it.
I wouldn't have caught that, but now I'm gonna pay attention because I feel like I'm getting the
watch how
inside
dudes look at each other when the other man don't get up out the chair. He at least is gonna do this. Yeah. Bare minimum, he's gonna do this, and like you might have caught him getting up halfway in between.
Yeah.
But if he don't move like that, you said it all.
It's fun. I mean, it's funny stuff. Like, quick story.
Yeah.
I was with my man one time. We went to a party, whatever. This is one guy that he don't really like that. The dude that I'm talking about, he's dapping everybody. You know, when guys dap, we like me and
it's love and hug.
Boom, boom.
It's real.
My man dapped him and did this. Ooh. But
you saw
what it was from the day.
My whole reaction just told you what
it's a hold off. Mm-hmm. Like my thing is, don't even shake my hand.
Don't even do it. Don't waste my time.
So the dude did that to me. He's like, see, man, I told you. And I'm telling him like, yo, chill. It's not that type of thing. But he wanted to get at him right. He was going in and trying to bring it in for love, and my man I saw it. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to.
Every man standing there saw it.
Yeah. Yes.
Because we watched that type.
And then guess what? It was just all night. They didn't say two words to each other. But like he said, remember we talked about the look all night.
Whenever you're ready.
Yeah. It was just like, yo, you better not say nothing to me. I won't say nothing to him.
And that's how I gotta go.
This is so informative.
No, but like,
I don't pay attention to that.
That's what I'm saying. Like with men and women's friendships, when your spouse is, or your significant other, and even sometimes your homegirl, your homeboy, they're gonna notice something about your partner that you're not gonna be able to notice because you didn't grow up in that world. You were never. We weren't separated. We were separated until puberty by ourselves. Little boys and little girls separate on their own. It's not like someone pulled us apart.
No, that's
we
true.
We do different things just because we do different things. So you'll notice something, or my wife will notice something, and I'm not gonna get it. So we don't understand all the time. So I think people, with the way this thing is going with the friendships and not having, or people saying you can't have opposite sex friends. I don't believe in that. But I think that the people are saying it because people don't feel like they can trust. Some people can't trust themselves. Let's be real. Like I know people that kept people in their lives for years for just in case purposes. Not being funny, but just in case purposes. So how are you going to? I don't know. Some people just aren't good at being friends anyway. Forget male, female.
I don't know. That's right. We done had a whole friendship series, so I agree.
I ain't gonna go there.
Some people are probably better friends with the opposite sex than they are with theirs.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I was like that for a long time.
Me too. I was about to say that.
I came up. What was it? I think it was a combination of both. I think I grew up with a lot of guys. I think I was a very angry child. Though most can't see it. Like I had a temper. Like a guy, like what you talk about. I definitely had a temper, but I didn't have the desire to be around little girls like that. I don't know. I just enjoyed, I grew up with mad guys. I enjoyed those relationships. It was comfortable because that was kind of what I was about to say.
When did you get out of? When did it feel like you were stepping out of your comfort zone? So
I always had girlfriends. It wasn't that, but like the majority of my life, I think because my house was full of guys. So like even if I had like a best friend at that time. The majority of, Deb, and I'm like the youngest one, when it's time when the street lights come on and you going in the house, everybody's still in my house. And everybody in my house is going to be male, with the exception of my mother. So from my dad to all the guys that came over there, and my house was the safe place and the space where the guys could kind of hang out. So y'all wouldn't have to go home for the street lights because y'all was at Miss Perry and Mr. Perry's house. So you could stay there late night, y'all. My brother had like the basement back then. They had dogs, and you know what I mean. We played WWF. You made the cardboard belts, and once my brother gets somebody in the headlock, here I come off the rope. Woo! You know what I mean? You count. You gotta count. But I don't know. I think I just felt more comfortable initially, and then. Also experience, right? Then you meet girls who kind of talk a lot or gossip a lot or whatever. And I'm just like, what are y'all talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? What's going on with sports? Like, I just was not that kid. Back then we watched football. It was just a very boy environment. So it did take me a while to get used to girls, and then having those bad experiences with girls just was like, I was like, I'm cooler with guys. But I realized as I got older that I felt like that was kind of like the trick of the enemy to keep me away from women. I have great women relationships now as I've grown up. Y'all know that, and y'all of course know that, that I have strong relationships. But again, hurt will always put you in a corner, make you build walls where you should have gates. And thank God I got past that because I have so many beautiful relationships. I meet women all the time who are in hard places of healing or, even want to, start a podcast, whatever. But it took me a while to get like that because not that I relate like that. It's funny because I was in the environment, but I still don't think I got these cues, like what y'all was saying.
No, you're not going to. It's not meant for you. I was the same way. You're like you. I was the little boy that they didn't let play football on the street, so I was jumping rope with the girls because I was just small. It took me forever to grow. I didn't grow forever, so I was over there. I didn't learn all those female things just because I was always with them. Because you were right. I think some of that is nature and some of it is nurture at the same time. So I feel like I guess I had the opposite feeling. Like when my female friends started relationships and dating, I always told them, I was like, look, I'll catch you on the rebound. And they'd be like, what you mean? I was like, I'll catch you once you're either comfortable with me or I'll just back up because I'm really your friend and I want you to be happy.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not, this ain't nothing else. I'm really just your people. It's like, I've had homegirls that I saw them in the mall and I just walked by when they was with dude.
Really?
Why? Because I know because men are territorial creatures.
They are, and it depends on if that female ever talked about you to this man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to come up and say, hey, what's up, little boy? And then she got to explain who that was when I walk off, and now they arguing for 3 days.
3 days,
because she's saying what's up to somebody in the mall.
Yep.
Yeah. I think it's not having good conversations. My thing is, like, the people that I'm close to, like my circle of male friends, whether it's back in the day, because I'm still cool with some of the brothers that I grew up with, or people who are really, like, in my life, the person that comes in my life, not that it's not like I chill with them all the time or whatever, but we do have a relationship, right? It's like, and I never want the first, I think that's the part. Like, I never want the first time that this man who I love and want to be with, the first time they hear an aunt is like aunt walking by in the thing and be like, yo, dad. And it's like, oh, who was that? It's like, no, that's my brother who got the cloak. Like, I talk about who you know what I'm saying? Who I have in my life. Some of that is it too. Not too much now.
Yeah, I mean,
y'all
that's called,
don't go crazy.
That's called also being older and we do it better. When I'm talking about the girl in the mall, we was like 20.
Yeah.
You don't know that. That's a mistake being made.
Yeah.
But I know as a guy, like I know the feeling. Like, we're just territorial. That's just how we are. Like, I'm not saying it's right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm just saying
it's just a real
women
thing.
are more social. You are more social.
Yeah.
We are more, okay, this is my area. You stay over there. I'm going to stay over here. We'll wave. But that's about it.
Yeah. And I feel like men are more friendly. Like, and I said this on another show, that you guys weren't on. I think I was with Ish, who's actually coming on the show. But we were talking about like barbershop things. And I was like, so a woman walking in a new salon, everybody is like,
what she got
from
on.
from the bottom to her shoes to her slowly up to her nails. They are reading your whole outfit to your bag to everything, right? And you may get, and I still get this to this day, I think people don't always know how to take me. You know, I see somebody who I do not know, I'd be like, girl, come on, shoes. Come on, shoes, because you know that's how women talk. It'd be like, come on, polka dots. Come on, I see you. You know what I mean? But like, I love to see women in their just beauty and like really rocking whatever. And you could tell when they knew they was cute. Like, I want you to feel
and women love compliments.
Yeah,
from male off.
Look, I'm like, look.
She didn't do all that this morning for nothing.
I was about to say, I ain't put these pants on for nothing. Like, you want to see that. But I feel like I sat way too many times in the barbershop with the boys, right? I feel like there's a different welcoming that happens in a barbershop when men come in.
That's because you got to.
And it feels better. Like, it feels better than being the woman.
I'm not gonna say it's genuine. I'm gonna say when it's us in the barber, and that's something I missed since COVID came.
It's different,
But it's,
you see what I'm doing,
it's just COVID made it different. But what I will say is, we greet each other, and you may hear, but that greeting is based on your confidence as the guy that just walked in the room. And we read each other too, but we read for different. It's a different read.
See, barbershop, it differs.
Yeah.
Say you're your first time at this barbershop. Your first time. It's almost like, I hate to use but going into jail. You might have, you got to chest out, boom, boom. You might have to knock out the first. You come in a barbershop.
Nah, it's the truth. You
come in a barbershop. You see some guys you don't know. I mean, just as a man, what's up, fellas? How y'all doing today?
Yep, with a certain amount of
So
bass.
sometimes you assert it. Yeah, it's not that you really care how they do. But what's up, fellas? Y'all good?
Don't nobody want to hang with the soft dude.
I was gonna say
it like that.
And then you got the quiet dudes that walk in there. He's just looking for next. Hey, I just.
Now I'm a quiet dude.
But it's a different quiet.
It's a different quiet.
Yeah. Certain quiets, don't mess with that quiet, man.
Yeah.
Leave him over there in peace.
Other guys that
but then you got the quiet guy that come in. You can tell he's timid. He's his first time.
And we ain't grown. We ain't gonna pick on you. But we also ain't gonna be. It ain't gonna.
He ain't gonna get the most respect in the room, though. Yeah, he's not.
We ain't gonna disrespect you, but you're not gonna get the same love that the dude that walks in assertive with his chest out. It's just not gonna happen.
That's because y'all hear this, ladies.
But real quick, a barbershop that you do know and frequent, that's a brotherhood.
Yeah, it's a brotherhood.
It's a brotherhood. Yeah. You may come there for a shape up and be there for 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah,
chilling,
but that's also the salon. I mean, when I was a kid, I had a salon. Shout out to Jazz, my cousin. She had it was called Attitudes. I spent so many nights My mother used to think we were like going out. It'd be like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'd be like, take everybody else, because we'd be there talk. We used to have podcasts in the shop. Like if we had cameras and mics, it was just it was a
those
thing.
are the best conversations.
But I thank y'all for coming through. I thank y'all for sharing like y'all always do.
You're welcome.
And I'm relocating, but I'm still here. So as we transition and expand the show, because this is not us leaving, I'm so glad that y'all will come back and chit chat it up with me. Right? Right. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you
I
for
love
having
y'all.
me.
I'll holler at y'all later.
Peace.